Welcome to This Explainer, Unlocking Social Media Fame, Aura, Algorithms, and the One Follower Dilemma. Okay, let's just jump right in. Have you ever caught yourself wondering what actually makes a piece of content blow up overnight? Is it just pure dumb luck? Is it some perfectly engineered algorithm? Or is there like a secret shortcut that only the insiders know about? Well, today we're diving into a super fascinating micro case study on the actual nuts and bolts of viral fame. We're going to break down this incredibly revealing interaction from a YouTube channel called JH Rohit FF. It's a tiny snippet of dialogue, really, but man, it holds a massive, high stakes debate about how social media fame works out there in the real world. Basically, this clip pits the whole idea of established creator clout directly against the incredibly harsh realities of platform algorithms. So, over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack this whole viral marketing strategy and deeply analyze what creator influence really means at ground zero. Let's get to it. Number 1. Now, this isn't a ranking, it's a reality check. What this number represents for our creator, JH Rohit FF, is the brutally honest baseline of his journey. In the clip we're looking at, he flat out admits his profile currently sits at exactly 1 follower. I mean, think about the steep, agonizing uphill battle emerging creators are facing right now. When you're starting with literally a single follower, you're not just fighting for attention, you're fighting for the algorithm to even acknowledge you exist. You're basically shouting into an endless digital void. It's the ultimate cold start problem, right? Like, how do you get from 1 single follower to thousands or millions when the entire system feels hardwired to ignore you until you already have an audience? It's a total catch-22. That solitary number is heavy. It represents hours of work met with complete crickets. But actually, it sets the stage perfectly for this whole debate we're exploring, because that desperate, incredibly human hunger for growth, that's exactly what drives people to search for some kind of magic shortcut out of the void. And that search for a shortcut, it brings us right to this fascinating phrase pulled straight from the title of the creator's upload, Aura plus 999. This is referring to an established creator named Arian Kelvin. And you've got to notice the almost absurd, kind of darkly humorous contrast going on here. On one side, you have the grounded, tough reality of our creator staring at an audience of exactly 1. And then, way over on the other extreme, you have Arian Kelvin, a creator whose influence is so incredibly massive, so undeniable that it's actually quantified as an aura level of over 999. Now, if you aren't super familiar with the slang, in modern gaming and internet culture, having aura goes way, way beyond just being popular. It's this intangible, overwhelming presence, kind of like a digital gravity. It's the online equivalent of walking into a crowded room and literally every single person stops and turns to look at you. By dropping this phrase, the creator is starkly highlighting that massive, seemingly impossible gap between the absolute bottom of the social media ladder and the god-tier status of an algorithmic titan. So how in the world do you bridge a gap that massive? Well, Arian Kelvin's brother actually offers up a strategy. And this is just a brilliant illustration of what we can call the magic bullet theory of social media fame. The brother makes this really bold, sweeping claim. He says if you just take his name, the video will go viral. It's a fascinating, almost mythological kind of statement, right? He's basically proposing that simply uttering the name of someone with aura plus 999 is enough to trigger instant massive visibility. I mean, think about the underlying assumption here for a second. It's this deep-seated belief that a famous name acts as a literal cheat code, like a skeleton key that forcibly unlocks the algorithm and commands it to push your content to the masses, completely regardless of your own non-existent follower count. It's the ultimate seductive promise of instant success based entirely on association. No grinding, no building a community from scratch, just drop the name and boom, the gates of virality swing wide open. So what the brother is actually suggesting here is a grassroots, highly specific form of viral marketing. In this localized scenario, we can define viral marketing as the deliberate strategy of leveraging an established, high-profile entity's brand recognition to artificially inflate your own reach. The main goal, literally bypassing standard algorithms. Instead of doing the slow burn of building an audience through organic discovery, this strategy relies entirely on riding the coattails of Arian Kelvin's massive pre-existing audience. The hope, well, really the absolute gamble, is that the platform's search engines and recommendation systems are going to pick up that famous keyword, Arian Kelvin, and just automatically serve the content to his legions of fans. And if it works, it grants immediate, explosive traction to a totally unknown creator. You're essentially hacking the system by hijacking somebody else's algorithmic momentum. But to understand why anyone would actually believe this cheat code works, we really need to define what creator influence is. Like, what does it actually mean when the brother talks about Arian Kelvin's level? Well, first off, it's about instant name recognition. The established audience already knows, likes, and cares about this person. That's the human element.
Second, and honestly, vastly more importantly for the platform itself, it's about algorithmic weight and priority. Look, the algorithm doesn't have feelings, right? It has data. And a name like Arian Kelvin carries a massive amount of historical, proven data. We're talking consistently high click-through rates, massive retention graphs, the whole shebang. The system is heavily trying to push content associated with that specific name because it's basically guaranteed engagement. And finally, this intense algorithmic favoritism creates the perception of guaranteed virality within the community. The influence is so strong, so mathematically proven, that even people adjacent to the creator, like his brother, view that influence as this transferable superpower. They genuinely believe influence isn't just about the creator getting their own views, it's an aura that can instantly grant views to anyone, anywhere who simply drops their name.
But here is where the story gets really fascinating, because we see a direct head-on collision of two very different perspectives here. On one side, we have the aura solution presented by Arian's brother. It's this absolute, unwavering, almost blind confidence that a clout-chasing name drop guarantees a viral hit. It's a theory based entirely on proximity to power. But then, on the other side, we have the creator's actual reality. Despite being told by someone so incredibly close to the source that this is a sure thing, JR Rohit FF says, point blank, I don't have any trust in this at all. And why is that? Because his grounded skepticism is fiercely anchored by that single follower we talked about at the very beginning. He looks at his empty profile and logically, rationally deduces that if nobody is there to hear him drop the famous name, well, the algorithm still might not care. It's kind of like if a tree falls in an empty digital forest and it yells Arian Kelvin's name, does it still make a sound? He realizes that without some baseline momentum, a keyword might just be, well, a keyword. It's a profound moment of doubt that perfectly challenges the entire premise of that magic bullet viral strategy. Which brings us to our final thought. We've seen the incredibly powerful mechanics of algorithmic weight. We've explored the massive, seemingly insurmountable gap in creator aura, and we've unpacked the highly seductive promise of viral marketing through pure association. But we've also seen the stark, unforgiving reality of the cold start problem. So I want to leave you with this question to really think about. Is a famous name truly enough to beat the algorithm and manufacture instant fame from absolutely nothing? Or is the creator with exactly one follower absolutely right to be skeptical of these so-called magic shortcuts? The next time you see a tiny account mention a massive influencer, you'll know exactly what kind of invisible, high-stakes tug-of-war is happening behind the scenes. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep questioning what you see on your feeds.